ultimately, I want to speak a little bit about the sugya of Shehechiyanu. That's my goal. But I want to get there through our Gemara and the Gemara and Daf Dalet, as I said. So the Mishnah says, Akaris HaMegillah, Oimed v'Yoshef. You can read the Megillah standing or sitting. Kara Echad, Kara Shnayim. One person can read it, two people can read it together. We spoke about it last week. Malkum Shenagul Levarech, Yevarech. Shaloi Levarech, Lo Yevarech. Place where it's the minhag to make a bracha, you make a bracha on the Megillah. If it's not the minhag to make a bracha, you don't have to make a bracha on the Megillah. And the Gemara on Ramat Beis tells us, Malkum Shenagul Levarech Yevarech, Amar Abaye Lo Yishanu Ela Lachra. That Mishnah is talking about the after bracha of the Megillah, Aval Lefaneha, Mitzvah Levarech. Of course, you have to make a bracha at the beginning. The Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel, Kol HaMitzvahs Kulan. Nevarech Alein Oiver L'Asiyasin. The Yikar Chiddush of this is not the Oiver L'Asiyasin part, but they have to make a bracha. Kol HaMitzvahs Kulan, Nevarech Alein Oiver L'Asiyasin. So when do you make that bracha? Before. So as opposed to the bracha of Haravas Rivenu, which is a bracha Achrona, if you will, on the Megillah. So this is a bracha Rishona, so of course you have to make it. Then the Gemara goes into how do you know what Oiver L'Asiyasin means altogether? My mashma. But let's just skip to get to our point. Lefaneha mai mevarech. The Gemara says a few lines down. Lefaneha mai mevarech. What is the bracha you make beforehand? Rav Sheshus mikarzia. Rav Sheshus mikarzia, which Shui tells me is the only place in Shas he's mentioned. Is that correct? Sheshus mikarzia. Ikla lekamei de Rav Ashi. He came into civilization and found himself in front of Rav Ashi. Ubarich manach. And he made the brachas before the Megillah. In other words, he came for Purim to the Rebbe, Rav Ashi. So obviously he was at the end of the time of Shas. Ravina and Rav Ashi were the choismim of Shas. History becomes a little bit important. But he came and he made manach. What's manach? Rashi figured out, because of this term manach appears no place else as far as I know in Shas. So Rashi figured out that manach means how mikra Megillah, that's the mem, sha'as and nisim is the nun, the nisim, and Shehechiyanu, which is the ches, chaim. So manach means mikra Megillah, nisim, and chaim. So I want to just give away the whole shiur right now. that Shehechiyanu is called chaim. Shehechiyanu. It's a bracha on chaim. I'm not saying Musar Josh. I'm just saying halacha. As far as I know, the bracha bar minim azonis you make on cake, and Adama you make on things go for Adama, and Shehechiyanu you make on chaim. There has to be milestones, otherwise you can't walk around making a bracha all the time. So there's milestones in life. But if you look at manach, the Rosh Hashanah itself tells you that we're talking about, it's obviously the same thing, Shehechiyanu, v'kiyamanu, v'giyanu, lazman hazeh. So it's a bracha, it's like a life bracha, which has to be further defined, but Shehechiyanu is a very interesting bracha. Simcha fits into this because simcha is chaim. Chaim is simcha.
Sometimes the Shas refers to it as zman.
Yeah. Pirchas hazman. Al davar sheba mizman lizman. Right. So that I think, is the. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but I think by Yontiv it says that. So there's a bracha sheba mizman lizman like on Yontiv. There's a bracha on a pri chadash, which you make Shehechiyanu. So sometimes you make a Shehechiyanu on a beged chadash, and sometimes you make a Shehechiyanu on zman. Davar sheba mizman lizman. Are those two separate things, no connection? Or a zman is a milestone. You can't make a bracha all day long, a levai, but you make a bracha at a milestone. So mizman davar abba mizman lizman. Eating a brand new peach, if you have simcha from it. I mean, can you imagine? In the old days, people would see a fresh fruit. It would be a big thing. Make a Shehechiyanu on such a thing, a beged chadash. which the Chazon Ish writes about in Halachos of Shehechiyanu. He writes that he made a bracha on Shehechiyanu twice in his life. So, Chazon Ish. What? You don't know what the second one is? He writes it in the Chazon Ish. Yeah. Chasana, and then later on, when he was very old, somebody bought him a Shabbos suit. So they wore that was his chasana, and he wore that every day, not Shabbos and Chol. 7 days a week. That was his. So the hat, by the way, was the hat that he died in. Literally, he was wearing his hat when he died. Same hat that he got married in. So there's only one Shehechiyanu on both things. Okay. I'm just saying.
Wow, no holes or anything.
He was, so according to the biography of the Chazon Ish, he was like shomer on it, like he was like a person who's shomer on Kli Kesef and Kli Zav. It says of the Pe'er Ador. He would wipe it every day and clean it every day, and you would never find a Ravav al Big Day, but it was the same suit that he wore, and his Chasana he wore the next day, the next day, the next day, until he was very old. Somebody bought him a suit, he made a Shehechiyanu for Shabbos. He was in Kabbalah. And Afal Pikain, he became a Gadol Ador. There you go. I'm not there, I'll tell you that. Okay, if you go back, now we're talking about Manach, if you go back to the Gemara, which I hope you looked at, on Dalet Amud Aleph. So the Gemara here is an interesting Gemara, which obviously is connected, even Tosfos connects them, but let's look at it carefully. Amar Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Amar Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Chayev Adam Likrais. By the way, just to talk about history, anybody know when did Rabbi Shua ben Levi live approximately? Sano? What kufa was he in?
There are no rainbows during his life.
Definitely after Rishon Baruch Hu. It was the last of the Tanoim, the end of the Tanoim. When was the Anshe Knesset Agdola? Beginning of the Tanoim. So the Kufas HaTanoim, if you will, people say were bookended by the Anshe Knesset Agdola and Rabbi Akiva, but it's not really true. It was bookended by Rabbi Shua ben Levi, Rishon Baruch Hu, which were the Talmidim, and Talmidei Talmidim. Rav Tanu Palag. So Rav was on the border. So it's important for us. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, Chayev Adam Likros as a Megillah Balayla Ulishanoisa Bayoim. As opposed to saying that you have to read the Megillah Balayla Ubayoim. Chayev Adam, that's the importance of this Gemara. Likros as a Megillah Balayla Ulishanoisa Bayoim. Shenemar. Number of psukim. Like Yoimam v'Leisana v'Layla Lagdumiyali. Sovereign Mina, the Talmidim in the yeshiva, when they heard Rabbi Shua ben Levi saying this, his Talmidim thought that he's lemikray. They figured this is what they're supposed to do. Lemikraya b'Layla, lemisna masnisa d'dabe yimama. They took it very literally. What is shoyna? Kol shoyna halachos v'chol yoim. That's what Mishnah, lashon of Mishnah. So they said, okay, so we'll read the Megillah at night, and we'll learn Mishnayos during the day. We'll learn the halachas during the day. We'll chazer over the Mishnayos. According to some of the, let me leave. Amrlu Rabbi Yirmiyah, so Rabbi Yirmiyah came and he said, the same tkufa, L'didi, b'farshali minei, the Rabbi Chia bar Ava, kegoin the Amr Yinshe Avar Parsha. So it's like being Maver Sedra. Avar Parsha Sada Avasnaya. I repeat it, when you're Maver Sedra, you do Shnai Mikra. So, Lashon Mishnah can also mean to repeat, and it could also mean to learn. So they had a suffix. What does the Lashon? What did Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi meant? He was the Gadol Adar. Itmar Nami Amar Rabbi Chelboy Amar Ula Bira Chayv Adam Likros Samagila Balayla Ula Shanoisa Bayom Shnamar Lamani Zamer Chachavoy V'Layidoim Hashem L'Kaila L'Baytecha. Rashi, very important. Sover mean L'Shanoisa Bayom. Zecher Nasha use Zoyakin b'meit Sarasan Yoim V'Layla. So what do you see from Rashi here, Rabbi Avram? Rashi holds that there's a chiyuv at night, there's a chiyuv during the day. It's pretty much a clear Rashi, no? Shanoisa b'yoyim zecher l'nasha. Those who have learned the Tosfos know that this is not pashut, but it is pashut of Pshat in the Gemara. Pashut of Pshat in the Gemara, Rashi saying is you should say the Megillah at night. Well, l'shanoisa b'yoyim. The child is what does l'shanoisa mean? But the night, hisvad the polag. That's the ikar kriyas Megillah from the pashut. Pashut of Pshat in the Gemara. I mean, if you didn't learn anything, that's the Pashut of Pshat in the Gemara. And that's what Rashi says. Zeicher l'nes, why should you do it at night and on the day? Shayazaykim b'beitzir and yoim v'layla. It has to do with the Zakah. What does Megillah have to do with Zakah? In other words, Megillah is like the celebration of our success and our victory. So, being that we were crying to davening to Hashem yoim v'layla, so we should say Hallel or Megillah yoim v'layla.
Why does Rashi change the order? Yom V'Layla as opposed to...
I think, I was wondering about it, I suppose it's Laila V'Yom, which it should be. But I think that's an expression.
Right.
Like I'm working on day and night. Nobody says night and day. Unless you're a real Talmud Chacham, but Rashi says Yom V'Layla.
So the pasuk has that word.
They put Lod Chadamiyah. All the psukim seem to be there. Laman is Americha, or Tosis brings Kavod, is V'Yoyim. Laman is Americha Kavod, V'Lo Yidoyim is B'Layla. So it seems to be this Yoim Laila, which by Purim is Farker. It's Laila Yoim. Rashi says further, Savar Minah, B'nei, I'm going down a few lines, B'nei Yeshiva Sheshamu Shmozu, Galoshin HaKodesh, L'Shanoisim, B'Yoim HaYisvurim, the High L'Shanoisa, what he meant by L'Shanoisa is Loshin Shoina Mishnahu. Learn Mishnayos. Learn Mishnayos during the day. In other words, like a kollel, what do they call it? Kollel Mordechai.
Mordechai Tzaddik.
Kollel Mordechai Tzaddik. Okay, that's what we do. L'misnamas nisa dida Mishnayos shel Masechta Megillah, which they had then already at the time of Yerushalmi Levi. He says, no, Rabbi Yirmiyah ever Parshas Adav Yisnaya Asayim Parshazu v'Ashana Oisay Pam Shniya. So Ashana can also mean repeat. It could also mean Mishnayos. Toisa says, Chayav Adam Likros Megillah B'Layla V'Lashanoisa B'Yayim Oimari. The Afagav the Mevaret Zman B'Layla. It tells us that Halacha, which doesn't seem to be part of the Gemara, this Gemara anyways. The Afagav rather the Mevaret Zman B'Layla. Chayzer U'Mevarech Oiser B'Yayim. Even though you make a Shehechiyanu Zman, there you go. Even though you make a Shehechiyanu at night, you should say the Shehechiyanu again during the day. He's not being medayik this from the Gemara, I don't think. But why? The Iker Persumei Nisa Havi B'Kriya B'Yamama. The main Persumei Nisa, the Gemara says this. The Gemara says that the main Persumei Nisa is during the day, obviously. Day, Persumei Nisa. That's when you can do any kind of Pirsum. You do Pirsum during the day when it's light and it's bright and people are walking on the streets. That's Persumei Nisa. You see, Hanukkah candles, you're like always negotiating this thing because the candles show better at night, so there's more Persumei Nisa, but it's only Ashikala Regel Min Ashuk. So the Persumei Nisa requires people. There's no Persumei Nisa without people. The Kranabi Mashakin, and Tosus makes an argument, he says also the Pasuk's mashma like that. The Chsiv, V'layla V'laytu Miyalik, Leimer Af Al Gav Shekar B'yoim, that's really your kasha. Why is it yoim, right? I don't think of it, but you're right. That's good for what Tosus is above wording here. He says, and the main Purim is by day. That's what the Torah says. Yoim v'layla. V'gam ikar asuda b'yamama. You see that the Sudas Purim, you're not even yoitz if you make a Sudas Purim at night. Also, it's nice everyone goes around for money at night, but that's not the mitzvah of Matanas Aviernim. Matanas Aviernim, we have to wait till Netzach, technically. Kedamar l'kamon di ma'achla b'layla lo yatsa yidei chayvasa v'achanami mashma b'chsiv niskarim v'nasim v'nisvishkes zechira la'asiyah, that the zechira, meaning the Megillas Esther, has to be the same as the asiyah. Ma'ikar asiyah b'yamama av zechira kei. So I believe there's a machlekes Rashi and Tosus, even though it doesn't seem to be brought out as a machlekes Rashi and Tosus, but it seems to be a machlekes Rashi and Tosus because Rashi gives equal billing to the Yoim and the Laila. Does he not? He said, yeah. The Chayra.
Although one could read that Rashi as being definitely the same Yomam V'Layla, because the Ikar is during the Yom, and we're being Mishanot V'Layla.
It could be that the Laila is the Tafel. But the Rashi says clearly, Zecher l'Nasha Yizayik.
He's talking about the nace. He's not talking about the Kri at this point. We're doing the Kri because of the nace, but the nace itself is because there was a tzaka Yom V'Layla.
No. But he's explaining why you should do it twice, by Yom U'Balayla.
Avanti, what I'm saying is, I understand that. What I'm saying, what he's saying is, this is not, he's saying that it's the same chiyuv. Ras Mashal from Rashi, it's the same chiyuv.
Is it not?
Of course it is. I'm saying, according to Rashi.
Yeah, according to Rashi, it's the
There's
same.
no difference. There's
Oh,
no
you
difference,
agree.
Yom Halayla. That's what I'm saying.
According to Rashi, it seems clear there's no difference between Yom Halayla. According to Tosfos, it's clear. But so Tosfos, the big chiddush in Tosfos here is that the ikar, of course, is to say the Shehechiyanu at night, during the day rather. That's the ikar mitzvah of Purim, and the ikar mitzvah Megillah is during the day.
But Rabbi Shimon Levi sees Mahash with the Ikars at night. Because the Kriyas at night, but Melishnos, right?
The pashtus of the Gemara. The pashtus of the Gemara is the ikar chiyuv is at night. What I'm saying is nobody says you shouldn't make a Shehechiyanu at night. Even Tosfos doesn't say that. You should make a Shehechiyanu at night. You make manach, you make 3 brachas at night. But Tosfos says that even though you made a bracha Shehechiyanu at night, you should make it during the day because that's the ikar. So whatever that means is you should make it with more kavanah, with more nigid, with more something, but certainly you should make it. If you make it at night, you should certainly make it during the day. That's what the Re says. The Rosh brings this down, by the way. Just want to get to the tachlis here. The Rosh brings down this Re, but he doesn't say the Re, he says Rabbeinu Tam. The Rosh says Rabbeinu Tam says that you make a Shehechiyanu during the day. A big Talmud Chacham told me a number of years ago that there's 3 times in Shas and Tosfos where Rabbeinu Tam, who is Rabbeinu Yaakov Tam, is called the Re. And he told me this is one of them. So this is the Rabbeinu Tam. This is Rabbeinu Yaakov. Usually it's called Rabbeinu Tam, as opposed to Rabbeinu Yitzchak, which is the Re. But for some reason over here, so we don't have to make a pilpul as to why he brings Re and he doesn't bring the Rabbeinu Tam. So that would be Abaratzis. It's the same.
How does he know that? Because other Sfarim quote him as a Rabbeinu Tam?
How did this guy know this?
Yeah.
Yeah, because everywhere it's Rabbeinu Tam. The Rosh brings a Rabbeinu Tam. Other Rishonim bring
So it's 3
Rabbeinu
times
Tam.
that happens.
3 times the word of Rabbeinu Tam is called the Re. All 3 times it's all Rabbeinu Tam. In other words, everywhere else it's called Rabbeinu Tam. That's just trivia. That's it. You have to keep coming. We'll get through Shas. I don't even remember, but I wrote it down when he told it to me. One of them is in Eruvin and one of them is in Croesus. That's what I wrote. Are you serious?
Just had it. That's the only reason I know.
No apologies necessary, but you really? Where the Re is Rabbeinu Tam? Wow. You see, you can't trust the Talmud Chacham. Told me 3 times that it's 4. Who knows? How do you know that?
I just learned it.
No, I don't mean how you know Gittin. I mean, how do you know that the Re is Rabbeinu Tam?
Oh, because the other Rishonim, some of them, when they quote it, some of them quote it.
They say it's Rabbeinu Tam and some say Re. Same thing as this, right?
The Rosh quoted as Rabbeinu Yaakov.
Okay. The Rambam, as you may have seen, the Rambam Hilchos Megillah, Parak Aleph, Halacha Gimel, Mitzvah Li Crisis. Okay, the Rambam is holding what you have to make the brachas. Over Kaidim Kriyasa Balayla Shalosh brachas. You make in the night before you read the Megillah at night. Shalosh brachas ve'elohein baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvayso v'tzivanu al mikra Megillah. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam shas anisim la'aviseinu b'yomim ha'heim Bizman, Ubizman, 3 years is in the Rambam, how you make that bracha. And the third bracha is Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam shehechiyanu v'kiyamanu v'kiyanu lazman hazeh. Ubayom einoi chayzer mevarach shehechiyanu. So we have a very clear machlekes Rambam and Tosfos, Rambam and Rabbeinu Tam, whether you make a Shehechiyanu during the day or not. So the Rambam says very, very clearly that you don't make a Shehechiyanu, which is very mistaber. If I went to see Tosfos, I would have said Pshita, except that I know we do make a Shehechiyanu. Pshita, you make a Shehechiyanu last night. What do you make a Shehechiyanu in the morning for? Shehechiyanu you make when you're excited, right? So it's a new mitzvah. That's a night. You don't make a different Shehechiyanu every day on the sukkah. Yeah.
For places to war, like why would you make one without a
What's that? So I'm saying the Rambam is much more Mistabra. Ad Kedei Kach, by the way, that I saw I didn't see myself, I saw brought down from the Rokeach. So he says that he has somehow a Yediyah, he has from his Rabbeim that the Rambam in private made the Shehechiyanu during the day too quietly. Balachash, he says. It's hard to think of the Rambam as like a brisker, you know. Like everyone, he said it, even says that he said the Shehechiyanu quietly while everybody was saying Amen. That's what he does. But that's what I'm saying. Those were the late Rishonim, early Acharonim already said that the Rambam himself said you should make a Shehechiyanu during the day, but in the Halacha he says what's Mistaver, and what's Mistaver is make a Shehechiyanu at night and you don't make it during the day. So now we have a Machlekes, Tosfos, and the Rambam, whether you make a Shehechiyanu during the day or not, and what's just to be Mesader the Indian completely in Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch in Taf Reish Tzadik Beis. Hakaris HaMegillah Bevarach Lefanah Shloisha Brachos Al Mikra Megillah B'Sha'as Anisim V'Shehechiyanu U'Bayom Eino Chayzer Mevarach Shehechiyanu. Shulchan Aruch says clearly, like the Rambam, as he often does, like the Rambam, that you don't make U'Bayom Eino Chayzer Mevarach Shehechiyanu. Of course. Comes the Ramah. Yesh Oimrim, Daf Bayoy Mevarach Shehechiyanu. Tur b'Shem Rabbeinu Tam, V'Arosh, V'Amagid. Rabbeinu Tam, there you go. B'chein Noyagin, B'chol Medinois Elu. And that's our minhag. So the minhag of the Ashkenazim is we make a Shehechiyanu during the day. I guess the minhag of the Sfardim is they don't. I don't know. Does anybody know? Probably go like the Shulchan Aruch. So this comes down to machlekes, which I think starts with Rashi and Tosfos in a way. Although they're not talking about Rashi's not talking about Shehechiyanu, but he's talking about that there's a mitzvah b'layla u'bayom. And Tosfos comes along and he says you have to make the Shehechiyanu b'yom because that's the Iker mitzvah. And the Rambam says no, you make it at night and you don't make it during the day. So the Pashut of Pshat, which the Maggid Mishnah says, Pashut of Pshat in the Rambam is that he disagrees with Tosfos as to whether it's true that the Iker mitzvah is by Yom and not B'layla. Is that altogether true? And you could say that the Rambam holds that no, the Iker mitzvah is B'layla. Or you could say the Rambam holds that it's an equal mitzvah B'layla by Yom and you only make a Shehechiyanu once. But the Maggid Mishnah says clearly that the machlekes here between the Rambam and Tosfos is whether it's true that the Iker mitzvah of Mikriyas Megillah is by Yom, whether maybe the whole thing is B'layla, which would be very much like what I think Rashi is saying. The same mitzvah at night as by day, and Mamela you could say a Shehechiyanu then. That's the Iker.
Maybe that's Pshat. Pshat Tosfos could be that it's the other way. In other words, Shehechiyanu should be said during the day. But you can't start off the Yom Tov and say the Megillah at night without Shehechiyanu. You never find such a thing.
That is the Pshat Tosfos. I believe that is the Pshat Tosfos. Meaning like the Lila, right? So the Lila is like, what are you going to do? Right. What are you going to do? So you have to say Shehechiyanu B'layla, emes. But according to the Rambam, where he'll hold, not like Tosfos, who told you the Iker is B'yom. And you see Tosfos, by the way, has to be B'chiach. I'll produce 3 rayas that the Iker is B'yom. The Suda is B'yom, and the Pasuk is Mashma B'yom. And everything's by Yom, which is, by the way, no raya. Maybe the Iker of Kriyas Megillah is at night. I don't say it's no raya. The resets up there, Rabbi Tam says it, but I'm just saying it's not dafka raya. You could say the Iker Suda is by Yom and the Iker Megillah is by night. So what's such a tzmiya? But Tosfos wanted to say for sure. He says that you have to make a Shehechiyanu during the day because that's the Iker mitzvah. You can't miss out on that. So our kasha on Tosfos is that why can't you miss out on it? I mean. If you made a Shehechiyanu, you made a Shehechiyanu already. So the Iker mitzvah is by the way. I mean, I can't think of any. You had an example. Was another example where the Iker is the second part? What?
Lighting out 2 candles.
You can't hear.
Kiddush. Lighting candles.
Oh, lighting candles by Kiddush. We made a cheshbon together. So on Yom Tov night, so most of the world, normal people, so make the woman lights candles and makes a Shehechiyanu. Right? Ahalik Ner Shel Yom Tov, Shehechiyanu. Our Kabbalah from the Rosh Yeshiva is not to do that. what we do is, because the Shehechiyanu on the Neirus is toughl to the Shehechiyanu that you're going to make a kiddush, and possibly hefsek for the woman who already made a Shehechiyanu. So better, and that's what we do in my house, is you bake the Halachos Neirus. We don't light Halachos Neirus at the Zman of Halachos Neirus. Right, like Halachos Neirus, you're allowed to light candles on Yom Tov. So you light Halachos Neirus right before Kiddush. The women are not mafsik, and make Kiddush and Shehechiyanu, and the Shehechiyanu goes on both. So you see, but on the other hand, what do most people do is they make a Shehechiyanu on the sort of advanced mitzvah, even though the Iker mitzvah is by Yom. It's just.
Kiddush is no more ikr than the candles.
Of course, Kiddush is takana. What do you mean?
Why?
Why?
The Shehechiyanu on the Kiddush, put the Shehechiyanu on the candles.
Except for Yom Kippur.
Except we allowed to make it. Yom Kippur, we just make a Shehechiyanu.
No, only Yom Kippur. In other words, Yom Kippur is the only section.
Way to put the Shehechiyanu.
No, but I'm telling you, Rishonim don't say that. The Rishonim say that you can't make Shehechiyanu unless there's a kais. Except for Yom Kippur.
Even if you don't have anything Yom Tov, locked in prison, make a Shehechiyanu.
Oh, make on Neiros Chanukah also, doesn't it?
On Yom Tov, you make a filo b'shuk.
You would, but the takonos chacham is l'chatchila to make it on a kais. Look, when are you? Look. Of course, but let me.
Could be you're making the Shehechiyanu on the mitzvah.
Let me say something about this.
This is Kiddush.
What's Kiddush? What's Kiddush? Kiddush is that you're.
It's Yom Tov, Kaddish the Yom Tov. So matim, that's what it should be, the Shehechiyanu. Matim.
As opposed to.
As opposed to the neighbors. Seder, but it's not. You're not. It's not.
So the Iker Kiddush, the Iker Shehechiyanu.
It's not the Iker Yom Tov. It's a more hegemony place to put the Shehechiyanu. So it's just saying this is
okay. Mein Afkamin. You mean you're arguing with Rav Sheinberg's talk? So he's saying that it's more takonos chachamim to put it by the kais.
That's meaning the Gemara.
In the Gemara. So if you're supposed to put it by the kais, why is she making it on a dover which is less? First of all, and then if she does make the Shehechiyanu, so the Shiur hefsek with her amen or b'chal, even the Shemei Koine, depending on how we work. Different. That was last week's discussion of how strong Shemei Koine is. So Shulchan Aruch gets her Shulchan Aruch Ramah and the Maggid Mishnah. The thing is, the Yeshua, let's say over. I mark it, but the Pnei Yeshua says, take my word for it. The Pnei Yeshua says he's very troubled by the idea of making two Shechiyanus. As is a matzia. Why should you make two Shechiyanus? So he says that the two Shechiyanus comes from two different places. And he says that the Shehechiyanu at night is on the Yom HaPurim, Kiddush HaYom, right? Yom HaPurim, it's Purim. And the Kiddush during the day, the Shehechiyanu during the day, is on Mikra Megillah. So that would explain it, wouldn't it? I mean, in other words, that would explain it. Why am I making two Shechiyanus? I'm doing two different things. One Shehechiyanu is on the Laila, or on the Yom of Purim, which is interesting. Anyways, the Pnei Yeshua according to Tosfos. How does it work according to Tosfos? According to Rabbi Tam, the Iker is by Yom. So if the Iker that there's Kemat no mitzvah, there's Rishonim that say, in fact, in this Rokeach earlier on, and I looked into it, the Rokeach says that Bisman HaMishnah, he says there was no Kriyas HaMegillah at all at night. That's what he says, the Rokeach. There's nothing, and no Shehechiyanu. Meaning that the whole thing started at the time of Rabbi Shua Levi, or after the Chasimas HaMishnah, which is a bit of a pella. I mean, like.
Is it pshat the simcha issue more during the day? Meaning, if I have a new peach at night, and I have a new peach, another peach the next day, I'm not going to make a second Shehechiyanu.
Right.
So what's the difference here? Is it the simcha and the next day that's simcha?
No, or is it the pshat?
Okay, so that's what we need to figure out.
Not only the simcha, because all the other mitzvahs are mitzvahs b'yom. Suda, Mishalach Monas, and Matanas Havyonim.
So you want to be mighty there, Shehechiyanu.
Right, no, well, that's what we do. That's what we do the mitzvah now. We say you should have a mind for those mitzvahs.
Why can't you do that the night before?
Because you're not, no, there's the mitzvahs and mitzvahs
No
b'yom.
chiyuv.
Not shy.
No, but it's not that. The simcha, there's a simcha there because I'm being mitzaref the
simcha.
Megillah because to those mitzvahs that I'm doing. They're not
That's
shaykh at
that's a
night.
little bit different. It's schwer to say that the reason we were misakin the Shehechiyanu during the day, even though you really don't have to make one, is because of Shalach Manos, and because of the mitzvahs hayyim. To me, that's like schwer to say. We're making a Shehechiyanu on the Mikra Megillah
Yeah, I never said
only
that,
because no. So the Vart is, and one wonders also why don't you make a Shehechiyanu l'chatchil on Shalach Manos? Why do you have to be Yotzei? Why do we have to make an announcement? It says everybody have kavanah to be yotzei all the mitzvahs. Why? Why don't you just make a Shehechiyanu? How you're doing what Tanas of Shehechiyanu? Ani comes in, make a Shehechiyanu. Very nice. make a bracha on him.
Don't make a bracha on stuff.
Okay, so on Shleich Man because Tali B'das Acher. Everything else is Tali B'das Acher. Okay. Ask him.
I guess Suda you say.
Suda is not Tali B'das Acher. I could eat all I want all by myself. Make a Shehechiyanu. Suda's Purim.
It's a normal thing to have a Suda. You Suda every day. You're right. There's Suda's Purim. Suda, I don't know if Suda alone could be Mechayim.
By the way, even what you're saying is not so right because you don't make a bracha on a mitzvah which is totally b'das acherim, but that's not talking about Shehechiyanu. That's talking about the birchas of mitzvah. You don't make a bracha on tzedakah because Hashem lo yikav.
What then? If you can't,
I get simcha by giving it.
he won't be makabel. He won't do the mitzvah.
Right, I'm saying write out a check. Like I write out a check. Simcha by Shehechiyanu. I hear. I'm just saying it's not exactly the same thing. I want to.
Rav, at the Pesach Seder, don't we do the same thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, right? You make a Shehechiyanu on
All the mitzvahs.
Same, we say it at the coast, we have.
on the kos and on the matzah, or right? Kos and the matzah.
That's not telling me that's okay. Eat the matzah.
No, we're off that already.
That's different.
We're talking about how do you make the second?
It's a
Shehechiyanu?
mitzvah.
Yeah.
It's not a mitzvah.
It's very strict. Well, maybe it's because it's the rice and I'm
What?
saying more, say a few more Shechiyanos.
I mean, machpat lo
a lot of mitzvahs on Purim.
I'll tell you why. Make more Shechiyanos. Why not? Okay, so that's what we need to discuss. I just want to say before we get to the end of this, I just want to line up all the sheetas over here. But something similar to the Pnei Yeshua, I just happened to see in the Sofnas Paneach, that's the Rogatchover on this Rambam, and he says, I saw it's interesting. I saw different Sofnas Paneach brought down, and then it was saying something different. And then I looked, and this is what he says. He says that Yesh Lachkor, Rogatchover. The Rogatchover said to I think to Reb Chaim Brisker, he said, wherever you have 2 dinim, I have 3. So he says Yesh Lachkor in the Kriyas Hayyim and Kriyas Halayla. Do we say that it's all one chiyuv, Hayyim u'Balayla? It's actually mashma from Rashi, right? It's a chiyuv to read Megillah on Purim. Purim is a night, Purim is a day. You make Kiddush Halayla, you make Kiddush Hayyim, I'll say, if you can do Sarabah. Or do we say that there's 2 different chiyuv? There's a chiyuv of Yom and there's a chiyuv of Layla. That's the way he puts it, which Ba'atzem is the same thing that the Pnei Yeshua is saying, but in different words. In other words, the Pnei Yeshua is already answering that shiloh by saying, well, at night you're making the bracha al hayyim, and during the day you're making the bracha on the Megillah. But the Rogatchover is like, let's take a step back and let's look at the view here. Let's get the whole picture. Like Purim, you celebrate at night, you celebrate during the day. Is it chiyuv achas or no chiyuv? Or third din, is it that the only chiyuv, quotes Rabbi Tam, the only chiyuv is during the day, and at night is like an add-on to Rabbanan, meaning there's no chiyuv at all. In other words, one thing is clear, by the way, that the chayra, I don't know if it's clear, but I think it's clear, that the Megillah B'Yom, it's what seems to be, at least certainly according to Tyson, but it could be everybody else, that the Megillah B'Yom was Divrei Kabbalah, meaning it came from Mordechai and Esther, in the original Anshe Knesset Zagdolah. The Tikkun Balayla came later. The Chachamim Tikkunu, which we can't sneeze at. That's a big thing, but it's not the same as a davar shebeminyan. It's not the same as a takana. It's interesting, by the way. Ironically, I think we're much more festive and excited about the Megillah Balayla than we are by Yom. So maybe because it's the beginning. Exactly right. It's the beginning. Soif kol soif. It's
So the Rav was saying similar to the Rokeach said that originally there wasn't a Kriya at night. So
That's right. Exactly. There were like according to one side, according to 1/3 of the Chakira, that there is no Yom Balayla. That's one side. Or there's a Yom Balayla. Or there's Yom Balayla. I don't know if I wrote down the lashon of the Gra, but Afal Gav the Iker's Mana, as the Gra says. It's explaining the Shulchan Aruch. Afal Gav the Iker's Mana Bayoim Kiven Sheberach Balayla Yatsa Laigara Miimberach Asuka. You get it? Yeah. Afal Gav the Iker's Mana Bayoim Kiven Sheberach. He's explaining this Rambam. Kiven Sheberach Balayla Yatsa the Laigara Miimberach Asuka. He means that there are minor mitzvahs of sukkah, like let's say you're masakin a sukkah, you make a sukkah, you make your little. You can make, according to some shitas, the Rambam shita, as a matter of fact, that you make a Shehechiyanu. So it's like Gara. There's all kinds of, just here's my chiddush for the night. There's all kinds of explanations in terms of the Rambam and Tosfos in the chiyuv of Kriyas HaMegillah at night and in day. We heard them all. It could be, like they're all dinim and hilchos Megillah. Is one for the Yom HaPurim and one's for the Kriyas HaMegillah. That's one pshat. Another pshat is it's a different chiyuv. There's two chiyuv. There's a chiyuv of Yom. There's a chiyuv of Laila. Which, by the way, according to that Rogachover, if there's two chiyuvim, it's not the same as half chiyuv of Yom and Laila. It makes more sense to you make two Shechiyanus, nachon. Right? In other words, like, why would you make? The kasha on the floor is why would you make a Shehechiyanu during the day on Kriyas Megillah like the Rama says to do? So the answer is it's a whole new chiyuv. So whether you say like the Pnei Yeshua or you say like the Rogachover language, it's a new chiyuv. Once you say it's one chiyuv, it's one big chiyuv. So you make a Shehechiyanu on the chiyuv. I have a regesh like this. I don't know. I have a raya yet, but I have a regesh that this is not a question of in Hilchos Megillah. You know, what is the chiyuv Megillah? I think it's a question in Hilchos Shehechiyanu. I'm transparency. I'm going into all the achrayim. Everybody talks about the sugya of what's the chiyuv of Kriyas Megillah, but let's look at it differently from the Rambam's point of view. What's the chiyuv of Shehechiyanu b'chla? And there are two ways that you see clearly, which might even be a machlokes. But there's two ways that you see. Like Nasanel said, there's mizman, mitzvah hazman, sometimes Shehechiyanu is called, and sometimes called birchas hasimcha. It could be, and I believe that this can be substantiated in the Rambam, it could be that there's only one Shehechiyanu that you make. Ending with what I started with. There's only one kind of a Shehechiyanu you make, and that's on the simcha of something exciting and something new. Whether the new thing is a beged, whether the new thing is a pri, whether the new thing is a yontiv. There's only one thing you can do, and that's make a Shehechiyanu on the simcha. There's another way of looking at it. That is that there's a chiyuv, like a new mitzvah is machayev a new Shehechiyanu. Like in other words, the mitzvah haba mizman lezman is machayev a Shehechiyanu. Those are two very different ways of looking at it. In a sense, the Rambam is saying, look, you're alive, Shehechiyanu, v'kiyamanu, v'kiyanu lezman hazeh. It's a beautiful thing. Here's a milestone. Nacham al Purim. The kids are dancing. Everything's beautiful. Make a Shehechiyanu. And the Rambam says, and that's it. I made my Shehechiyanu. I made my Shehechiyanu b'layla. Don't repeat it by day. Don't even repeat it. And Rambam's not even worried, by the way, about Shalach Manas and Matanas of He's not worried about all those things. Not even one Shehechiyanu.
It's not kosher in the Megillah at all.
Huh?
It's not kosher in the Megillah at all.
Not a kosher. It's a chiyuv by simcha. It's a din negavra. It's Didn't the Gavram, B'simcha make a Shehechiyanu? So, okay, if I feel good today, because do I make a Shehechiyanu? The answer is yes, if there's a milestone. If I win the lottery, I make a Shehechiyanu. Why not? Somebody buys a new car, make a Shehechiyanu. I will tell you a very quick thing. I'm a book publisher. So whenever an author gets a book that we all worked on, he worked on sometimes for years, and we work on it for a year. So when I give the author the published book, so I always feel like he or she should make a Shehechiyanu. Like, wow, like what a milestone. And but the authors are big lamdanim, big Talmidei Chachamim. So I said, make a Shehechiyanu. Here's your new book. You sure? Are you sure? So I don't know. Look, you got a new car. You make a Shehechiyanu. You got a new beged. You got a new hat. You make a Shehechiyanu. It's a beautiful book. Why don't you make a Shehechiyanu? Anyways, Rav Asher Weiss Shlita. So I published his book, the first one. I published 2 books. I published his first book on Emunah B'Tachan, and I brought it to his house. I don't do that for all the authors, but Kavod Torah. I brought it to his house in Ramot, and he knew I was coming, and he actually came outside, and he greeted me, and I gave him the book, and he says, so exciting, I have to make a Shehechiyanu. I'm going to go inside, I have a new sweater. Okay, but the nekuda is that the Shehechiyanu. Okay, I was ready to take a picture and everything. But Shehechiyanu b'atzim, at least according to the Rambam, and it could be substantiated in the Rambam, Lanias Daiti. The Shehechiyanu of the Rambam it has nothing to do with the pratim of this mitzvah, that mitzvah, this mitzvah. It has to do with one thing: a milestone came, and I have an occasion. So in myself, Purim is here. So even it's a lesser Purim at night than it is during the day. Could be that the Rambam holds clearly, just like Tosfos, that the Iker Purim, the Iker Kriyas Megillah is by Yom. There's no stira. And it could be he doesn't have to come on to the Pnei Yeshua, that this is the Shehechiyanu on the Yom, and this is the Shehechiyanu on Iker Megillah, which is a doichik. And he doesn't even have to come on to the rugged shover that's Tzafnas Panech, says that one's a getter of 1 chiyuv, one's a getter of 2 chiyuv. You don't have to do that either. They're very passionate. When am I excited about Purim? When are we excited about Purim? Come to Shul. It's a kindness and everything. We're all excited. Why? Because it's a Shehechiyanu is a bracha on Simchas Hayom, and I feel like it's yashar to say that. Tosfos is saying Kedarkoi, the Rabbi Tam Kedarkoi. It's saying, it's like more yeshivish, and what he's saying is that. But what is that occasion? It has to be a Dvar Mitzvah. I don't think he could argue that Shehechiyanu is a bracha on Simcha. But he's saying that it's a bracha on Simcha, and it's a bracha on Birchas HaZman. It's Birchas HaZman. So what's a Zman? Defined by a kois, defined by a yontiv, defined by some kind of a new mitzvah. So now for sure you have to make it during the day. So hence you have a machlokes, the Rambam and Rabbeinu Tam, whether you make a Shehechiyanu during the day or you don't make a Shehechiyanu. Is it on the mitzvah or is it on the excitement of the day? Asher Ratziti Levayer. Thank you for listening.